hello and welcome. My name is MiniBetrayal and this is Factorio Megabase. Well, last episode we got some oil set up for our final space science build. Today we're moving on with the other raw resources that we need to collect for space science. So iron ore, copper ore and coal. So for various things, we need to make 1,000 space science per minute. I think I accidentally said per second in the last episode. Yes, but for 1,000 space science per minute, we need 283 and a bit iron ore per second, 410.3 and a bit copper ore per second, and a fraction less than 50 coal per second, which is quite a lot. So, do I have miners on me? I have some miners. Let's pick up more miners because I will no doubt need them. And belts, I have no belts on me. Let's put some of this other stuff back as well. Okay, so in terms of the iron ore, we need 6 1/3-ish compressed blue belts of iron ore. Now we're probably not going to get that out of just this iron ore deposit, but we do have one down there and one over there and one over by the water that we can tap into as well. So that should be easy. Copper might be a bit of a stretch, so for the 410 copper per second we need, that is more than 9 compressed belts. Now there are a few more copper deposits, but they are a little bit smaller. Anyway, let's just get started, see what I can come up with. Alrighty then, so quite a bit of time later. I've been working on this now for about 45 minutes, and we have iron there, copper there, copper there, copper there, and a bit of coal there. All of that is fed down to here where we have 2 lines of coal, assuming that will end up being compressed. That's 90, we need 50, so that's good. The copper, again assuming that's compressed, we have 10 lines of copper there, we need 9 and a bit, and we have 7 lines of iron down here, we need 6 and a bit, so we've got as much stuff as we need here. I think I'm going to do slight change to the iron. I am actually going to keep that at 8 lines, because just from the amount of steel we need, I think it'll work out if I send 4 of these lines to steel production, 4 to iron, that will work. Let me just check that briefly. Yeah, so it turns out we need 2.5 lines of this iron to go directly into steel, and oh, I've just lost it. And a little less than 4 lines of iron. But if I just send 4 off to steel, we'll have loads of steel to play with anyway. But as you can see, I have run out of belts. Multiple times, in fact. I have had to send the train back to the point where my... this one. Yeah, my base is having trouble keeping up with it. So I'm actually going to let my base just run for a little bit, gather some more stuff. You can see I'm kind of maybe cheating a little bit. I'm bumping the game speed up, so I won't have to wait as long. But when we come back, I will put in the belts and move on with the smelting. Okay, some time has passed. All of the belts are now in. So let's get some smelters running, I think. So I need to pick them up. There we go. So let's just grab all of them. We'll need inserters and power poles as well. Let's grab them, and inserters live back here. Yoink. Right, so remember in fact, I'll also need beacons, won't I? Right, so remember, as I said, we're going to split the iron 4 and 4. 4 to make iron plates, 4 to make steel plates. So if I find a steel line, let's copy this. There we go. Okay. And I just want to stick 4 of these down. Alright, so let's go. And a 1. And a 2. And a 3. And a 4. Fly, my pretties. Okay, are we done? I think we are done there. Let's just double check, make sure we've got no flashing by just hooking this up to power. I see no flashing. Oops, I'm accidentally making some bricks though. There must have been some stone on a belt. That's one thing I'm not ever so fond of. It's like, if for some reason there is stone on the ground like that, and then you go and put a belt there, the belt picks up the stone. I can get that might be useful in some very occasional circumstances, but it gets annoying. Right, so that would have been split between these 2 belts. Right, so I just need to make sure they have been picked up. Okay, and I think that will be able to just make iron. No, just to be on the safe side. There we go. Alright, so then I need some iron lines. So that's not iron. This looks like an iron line. And I need 4 of these. Oh, actually there is still some flashing. We'll fix that in a second. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, still missing a bunch of beacons, so I'll hop back down to the train and get that stuff. And let's also make sure these guys are powered as well while we're here. Okay, and we are good. Right, next up. What was it? 10 lines of copper. So, in fact, I can use actually the same line for that. So, 10 of these. And that's a 1.
2, 3, 4.
10. Okay, and that's going to take forever to do, and I'm probably going to run out of stuff. So we will come back once all of this has been put down. Alright, so I'm still missing a bunch of stuff. I have used everything that is in the train, though, so I'm going to have to send that back to go and get more stuff. Yeah, I'll send that back now, and it'll come back here once its stores have been replenished. In the meantime, oh, actually, yeah, stop. Actually, yeah, come back here. I'll pick up the belts, and while I wait for it to go and get stuff, I will actually plug in the belts. Alright, that's now everything done apart from one lamp, which I can't make because I don't actually have any iron, copper, or circuits on me, or anything like that. But we should be able to get that fairly quickly, because I think all I need to do is actually just switch these on. So, let me grab some power poles. Alright, let's hook up this one first. Okay, that all switches on. Good. We'll hook up the coal here as well. We'll come up north and hook up these coppers. Is that on? Yeah, that's on. Yeah, I thought that wasn't working for a sec. And one there as well. That gets all that on. And then we've got those others off to the side down this way to plug in. Do I have any closer power? No, I'll just grab it from the main stuff over here. Come on. There we go. Oh, that is facing the wrong way. This, by the way, is a poor man's 16 to 16 balancer, which has 7 lines coming in from the north and 9 lines coming in from the right. And it's basically built the same way as my poor man's 8x8. So the 8x8 is a 4 to 4 balancer, where each of those 4 outputs is mixed with one of these 4 outputs from the second 4 to 4 balancer, and then a line of these at the end. So what I've done here is I have an 8 to 8 balancer and another 8 to 8 balancer, where each of these 8 outputs are mixed with one of these 8 outputs and merged down at the end. It's not perfect, like you can see some of these are backed up, some of these are not. So that shouldn't really be happening, but now we're getting coal coming in from, not coal, the other one, red coal, coming in from over there. That should fill up, right. So, okay, we've got some of these the wrong way around. Okay, otherwise they all appear to be working. Okay, we've got steel being made in large quantities. Very good. Okay, so I think all I need to do... grab a bit of that. Grab a bit of that. And I can make my light. I didn't even see where that went. But we're no longer getting any... no material warnings. We do have a train out of fuel warning, but don't worry, that is the wood train. That is allowed to run out of fuel, because its entire purpose is to use up the wood. Okay, so that's iron ore done, copper ore done, iron plates done, copper plates done, and steel plates done. Let me just do a little bit of checking. So in terms of steel plate, we need 27.7 steel per second. We are using 4 compressed belts of iron ore. So that will be 180 iron ore. Divide that by 5, because it takes 5 iron... No, actually, before we divide it by 5, first we multiply it by 1.2. No, what am I doing? We've got 4 compressed belts of iron plate coming out of... Ooh, that is an empty can of energy drink on my desk. Yes, this bit here gives us 4 compressed belts of iron plate. So we've got 180 iron plate per second. Then we divide that by 5 and multiply it by the productivity of 1.2. So we're actually getting 43 steel plates per second. Almost 1 compressed belt. Far more than we need. For iron plate, my spreadsheet tells me we need 339.7 per second. We've got... Oh no, because that's iron plate including the iron plate that goes towards making the steel. And the way I've built my spreadsheet, I don't have an easy way of pulling out the remaining iron plate. Okay, back of the napkin kind of calculation means we should need, not including what goes towards steel, we should need 223 iron plate per second. No, that's not right. Okay, I did make a slight mistake. I took into account the 4 belts of iron ore that we would need to go directly to plates, but this doesn't take 4 belts worth of iron ore. This gives us 4 belts worth of iron plates. Luckily, there's an easy fix. Essentially, 3 steel modules is still more than enough. So if I just change this last one here into just an iron module. Oh, okay. Hang on. Okay, there we go. So now we have 5 belts of iron plates. And what we actually need is 4.98. So it's pushing it pretty close, but I think we'll be alright. Oh, I can also tidy up this now. Wonderful. Okay, so we have an awful lot of copper. A reasonable amount of iron and some steel to work with. What to do next? That is our question. Now, let's see. There's a number of ways we could go about doing this. I'm thinking. What am I thinking? I don't know. Let me do plastic. So I've got the coal coming down this way. Because I'd prefer to do as much of the sort of petrol type processing stuff down near where it's all being made. That should be reasonably simple to do. Okay, so according to my notes, we need effectively 130 plastic per second, which is going to be... Oh, there we go with the stone again. Which is going to be near enough 3 compressed belts of plastic. So let's see, what do we need to compress a belt of plastic? Do I have any chem plants on me? Of course I don't. Okay, you know what? We'll come back to plastic. Apparently we have a major issue. Our power has just died because we're not making fuel fast enough. So that's going to be what the rest of today's episode is about. Let's go and see what's causing all of that. Take me home. Okay, so we are just running off, I guess, residual power at the moment. There's a few of these still running just because the temperature hasn't completely died. That is about to change. And these ones at the end are overclocking themselves something silly, I guess, because they're pumping heat all the way down here when they really shouldn't be. Okay, so what is going on? You are actually running at the moment. What's the issue over here? I don't see why this isn't working. Have I just added too much for this thing to keep up with? Let's help kickstart it a bit. In fact, you know what? Just to help stabilize things, That should cut off the entire Megabase, basically, and bring the rest of the base back online at full speed. Okay, so this thing makes one of these in 10 seconds. From memory, thank you, autosave. From memory, it takes... It's either 100 or 200 seconds to burn through a fuel. Okay, according to the wiki, it's 200 seconds. So, how many of these do we have? We have 36 of them, so it will go through 36 rods in 200 seconds, which is 0.18 per second, and we're only making... We're making 1 per second, so that shouldn't be the issue. One of these is enough to fuel everything we've got. It must be... Ah! You are the culprit. That was stealing all of the 230 dull. What's the stuff called? 238, the dull stuff. And that was sending it down here to make more 235, which apparently has not backed up because at some point off screen I increased storage of that for some reason. I think that was it. This is now no longer stealing all the 238. So I should be able to turn that around. In fact, let's just get rid of these. I'm really not using that much ammunition. Actually, why did I increase storage of this? I honestly don't remember. But now it's going to run out of 235. Watch. That's going down. The system isn't terribly well balanced. Okay, but all of those are working. So I've got 30 machines. Each of these make effectively 1 uranium-235 in a minute. So I should be getting 1 every 2 seconds on average, but they'll only sort of spill out over here in batches, which is fine. Are we back up to 5 gig yet? Okay, back up to 5 gigawatts. That means all of these are running. Okay, we're still not building up a supply of fuel yet, I don't think. Oh, that one's actually run out. This inserter's having trouble picking up from the belt. There we go. But yeah, we're backed up as far as there. So it's this splitter here. See, if I prioritize the uranium fuel cells, then we're gonna stop making the 235, so the fuel cells will stop being made. So the 238 will spill over into the 235 production, so we'll make 235, we'll start making that. Yeah, I think this splitter here wants an output priority to the left. Now this will cause some issues presently, but I think if I just spin those around, I think we'll be alright. So I'm going to hope that will solve our power issue and hopefully prevent it from happening again. Let's switch on the Megabase. Okay, so power is okay. I just need to keep an eye on uranium. It's been a long time since I've done anything over here. I can't remember if I did this on camera, but I did throw in a couple extra machines recycling the empty fuel rods. How far back does that queue go? Yeah, back to here. Because that actually backed up at one point because the one machine I had wasn't cutting it. So it backed up and all my power shut down. That was an easy to diagnose, easy to fix problem though. Just throw in a couple of extra ones. That was the time at which I put in this extra storage here. Now you see at the moment, because this is using all of my 238, this cyclic ring of 238 down here is eventually going to run out. Which is fine, I mean we've got plenty of 238 stored up, but then eventually that will run out. But yeah, if we stop making these all together, we'll run out of power and it won't switch back on. Well, you know what? That is a problem for future Mini. I think I'm going to leave it there for now. But I didn't throw any radars over there. I was just about to open up the map and show you what we did today. Well, we did this. So, nothing intricate, but we've got a lot of steel, a lot of copper, and a lot of iron to work with. I started playing around with a little bit of plastic stuff, trying to figure out how to compress some belts there. Actually, I think I'll leave off on the research for now, unless there's... No, what do we have? I don't need any weaponry stuff. It's basically mining productivity or bot speed. Bot speed is fine at the moment. I'm not using bots for mass transportation. And mining productivity... Yeah, I'll leave it. But yes, next episode we'll continue on with plastic and the more intermediate products in the space science build. In the meantime, I will say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.